Captain Jack, hotshot, Carter wasn't new to near-death experiences. In fact, he was on a first-name basis with them. Come on, baby. Not now. Jack smacked the side of his ship's console, watching as warning lights blinked like a malfunctioning slot machine. Smoke curled from the panel. He could almost hear the damn thing laughing at him. Engine failure? Really? He ran a hand through his already tousled hair, glancing at the rapidly approaching atmosphere of Zypheria 7. I thought we had something special. The ship's AI, clearly over his theatrics, responded in its usual deadpan tone. Impact in 57 seconds. Recommend emergency landing procedures. Yeah? Well, I recommend not crashing into the surface of an alien planet, but here we are. The ship ignored his sarcasm and continued its countdown. Jack yanked the controls, angling the craft toward a clearing below, a beautiful, untouched landscape of lush, neon-hued forests and shimmering blue rivers. Looked like a paradise. Too bad he was about to leave a flaming crater in it. The moment the ship hit the ground, Jack felt the full force of the crash slam into him like an ex-girlfriend's unresolved anger. Everything spun. Metal screeched. Then darkness. When he woke up, two things became immediately clear. 1. He was still alive, somehow. 2. He was not alone. Impossible. A voice hissed, low and dangerous. Jack groaned, blinking through the blur. The first thing he saw was golden eyes, piercing, unblinking, and not human. The second? A face so ethereally beautiful it belonged on a celestial throne, not looming over his barely conscious, possibly concussed body. She had iridescent violet skin, a cascade of dark, silken hair, and a form that would make an artist weep. Jack's first thought? Damn, I must have died and gone to some weird, sexy afterlife. Well, he croaked, his voice raspy. If this is heaven, I approve of the welcoming committee. The alien woman, Princess Violari, though he didn't know that yet, narrowed her gaze. You shouldn't be here, human. Jack tried to sit up. Immediate regret. Pain flared through him, sharp and way too personal. He coughed, tasting blood. Yeah, well, crashing wasn't exactly on my itinerary today. Violari didn't laugh. She barely moved. Instead, she tilted her head, studying him like a scientist observing a particularly dumb but fascinating test subject. You are dying. Yeah, Jack wheezed. Figured that out when everything started hurting in new places. She stood, regal and commanding, and Jack realized other aliens were surrounding them, Zypherian warriors, weapons at the ready. They all looked like variations of her, but less intimidatingly beautiful and way more pissed off. Take him to the temple, Violari commanded. One of the guards hesitated. Princess, it is forbidden. Did I ask for your opinion? Silence. The guards lifted Jack, who, despite his situation, grinned. Strong women. I like it. Violari ignored him. If we do not act, he will die. The High Council does not need to know. Jack wasn't exactly in a position to argue. Between the pain and the fact that an entire squad of alien women was carrying him somewhere, he figured he'd just enjoy the ride. They entered a temple of shimmering obsidian, its interior pulsing with an otherworldly glow. Violari approached a raised platform, pressing a palm against a carved symbol. Jack, delirious, chuckled. This the part where I get sacrificed? If so, I'd like to request a last meal. Something with protein. And maybe a kiss for luck. Violari's glare could have melted steel. You have a remarkable ability to be irritating even while dying. Hey, Jack gasped. It's a gift. She exhaled, clearly debating whether saving him was worth the headache. What I am about to do is forbidden. No human has ever undergone this ritual. Jack, barely holding on, lifted a weak hand. I solemnly swear not to tell. That didn't amuse her either. With a smooth, deliberate motion, Violari retrieved a small crystal vial from an ornate pedestal. Inside, a luminescent golden liquid shimmered like liquid fire. Jack squinted. That doesn't look like medicine. It is not. Violari's tone was clipped, like she was trying very hard not to explain. It is, in essence, a biological conduit of our people. Highly sacred. And Jack, through the pain, smirked. Did you just say essence? Her expression darkened. If you make one more inappropriate comment, I will let you die. Understood. He coughed. Carry on. Violari hesitated, then knelt beside him. This will bind us, she murmured, in ways that cannot be undone. Jack, dizzy and reckless as always, grinned up at her. First date and you're already talking commitment? I usually at least get a drink first. She didn't dignify that with a response. Instead, she tipped the vial over his lips, letting the essence flow into him. For a second, nothing happened. Then fire. Jack's body arched as heat surged through his veins, liquid energy igniting every nerve. His mind expanded, senses sharpening, body reacting as if waking from a lifetime of dormancy. Violari gasped, clutching her own chest. The ritual had linked them. She felt him. Every pulse, every sensation. And he felt her. Jack groaned, breathless. Okay, that was something. Violari, eyes wide, whispered. This should not be possible. Jack flexed his fingers. He felt stronger. Faster. Like his body had been waiting for this moment. He met her gaze, mischief flickering beneath exhaustion. So, we're bonded now? Should I call you babe, or is that too soon? She slapped him. Yep, Jack grunted. Too soon. Jack jolted awake, and immediately, something felt off. His body was humming, like he just downed a gallon of caffeine and an adrenaline shot for good measure. His senses were dialed up to 11. He could hear his own heartbeat, and Violari's too. The alien princess stood a few feet away, arms crossed, looking way too composed for someone who had just psychically tethered herself to a human. Jack ran a hand through his hair, blinking. So, I'm alive. That's good. Feeling great, actually. Stronger. Faster. And, he paused, tilting his head. Are you mad at me? Violari's golden eyes narrowed. You can feel that? Yup. And I gotta say, that's a lot of irritation for one person. Impressive, really. Her jaw tightened. The bond is real. Jack smirked. Did you think I was faking it? I was hoping you would pass out and not talk for a while. Love that you're warming up to me. He stretched, testing his muscles. No pain. No wounds. Asterisk asterisk whatever she did, it worked. But there was something else, a tension, a pull between them. Violari stiffened. Do not think about me. Jack blinked. I wasn't. Her glare could have set stars on fire. You are now. Oh. Oh. Jack's smirk vanished as he realized the bond wasn't just emotions, it was thoughts. All thoughts. Okay, this is gonna be a problem. You think? Violari hissed, arms wrapping around herself like she could physically block out his presence. I hear everything in your mind, human. Every thought. Jack winced. So when I. Yes. And if I. Yes. Jack exhaled. Damn. I really gotta filter myself. You are incapable of that. Hey. I can be classy. She crossed her arms tighter. You just imagine me in significantly less clothing. Jack cleared his throat. Okay, I see the issue. Violari rubbed her temples. The bond was not supposed to be this strong. The ritual was meant to heal you, not merge our minds. Jack snapped his fingers. Well, guess I'm just that special. More like exceptionally annoying. Jack grinned, but inside a thought nagged at him. This wasn't just some weird magic trick. He felt different. More alive. Asterisk asterisk like something inside him had unlocked. Violari must have felt his realization because she let out a breath. You absorbed more than just my essence. Jack waggled his brows. Did I now? She threw a nearby object at him. His hand shot up instinctively, catching it before it could hit his face. Both of them froze. Jack looked at the object in his hand. Asterisk asterisk, a ceremonial dagger. Asterisk asterisk. The Elari whispered. No human should have reflexes like that. Jack twirled the dagger effortlessly. Huh. Neat. This is not neat, she snapped. This is impossible. Jack rolled his shoulders. You keep saying that. Starting to think you don't know what that word means. The Elari ignored him, pacing now. If the council learns of this. See, that's where we hit a snag. Jack sighed, tossing the dagger aside. Because I'm guessing forbidden ritual plus suddenly enhanced human equals a very bad day for me. The Elari shot him a look that confirmed it. Jack groaned. Let me guess. Your people aren't though. Wow, what a fun experiment, let's see where this goes type. They will see you as a contamination. A threat. Yup. Definitely not great. The Elari ran a hand through her hair, exhaling. You must leave. Jack winced as a sharp pang of emotion stabbed through him. He looked at her. You don't want me to go. The Elari's expression faltered. The bond. Nah, don't blame the bond. That was you. That was real. She set her jaw. It does not matter. You are dangerous to my people. To me. Jack held up a finger. Correction, I am dangerous in general. The Elari gave him a long, unreadable look. You joke. Even now. That's how I cope, sweetheart. Jack ran a hand down his face. All right, fine. If I have to run, I'll run. But you know damn well this bond won't let us stay apart. She didn't argue. Jack smirked. Oh, that scares you. The Elari's eyes flashed. I do not fear you, human. Jack leaned in slightly, letting the psychic pull between them amplify. Then why is your heart racing? The Elari shoved him back. You are insufferable. Yeah, but now I'm your insufferable problem. She let out an irritated sound, then turned away. We leave at dawn. I have a contact who may be able to hide you. Jack gave a lazy salute. Whatever you say, princess. She froze. He felt something sharp, something vulnerable flicker through her thoughts before she slammed her mental walls shut. Jack tilted his head. Huh. The Elari shot him a warning glare. Stop thinking. No promises. Jack kept his stride casual, but his mind was racing. The bond wasn't just some psychic link, it was rewiring him. His reflexes, his instincts, even the way he felt her emotions before she spoke, it was all getting stronger. And the Elari? She was trying really hard to act like it didn't affect her, but he could feel it. The princess was struggling. She led him through the dimly lit corridors of the temple, her steps precise, her body tense. Jack smirked. So, this contact of yours, friendly type? Or the stab first, ask questions never type? The Elari didn't look at him. She is a scientist. She studies anomalies. Jack whistled. Lucky me. I'm an anomaly now. You were an anomaly before the bond. Now you are a problem. Jack chuckled. And yet you still saved me. You could have let me die, but you didn't. The Elari stopped. I should have. Jack stepped closer, feeling the pull between them tighten. But you didn't. Her jaw clenched, and Jack felt a storm of emotions before she shoved them down. This is not a game, human. You are bound to me now. That means I feel you just as much as you feel me. Jack's smirk softened. Yeah, I noticed. The Elari exhaled sharply. Then stop thinking things. That's kinda my whole deal. She turned on her heel and kept walking, but Jack could feel the heat in her emotions now. Frustration. Confusion. Something deeper she wasn't ready to admit. Asterisk asterisk. Which meant he wasn't ready to admit it either. They reached a heavy, sealed door. The Elari placed her hand against it, and a pulse of alien energy unlocked the chamber. Inside, a woman in a sleek white bodysuit glanced up from a holographic console. Tall, silver-haired, with piercing blue eyes, she had the air of someone who spent more time with data than people. The scientist barely spared Jack a glance before fixing the Elari with a sharp look. You did it, didn't you? Violari stiffened. He was dying. The scientist turned her gaze on Jack, scanning him with something that looked suspiciously like mild horror. And now he is not. Jack gave her his best grin. Hey, Doc. Nice to meet you. Got any magazines? The waiting rooms in this place are terrible. She ignored him. You have no idea what you've done. Violari's voice was clipped. Explain. The scientist exhaled, then motioned for Jack to step forward. Hold out your hand, human. Jack wiggled his fingers. Just a heads up, I don't usually do blood tests on the first date. Violari mentally screamed at him to shut up. Jack sighed and held out his hand. The scientist pressed a small scanner against his skin. The device hummed, then suddenly flashed red. Jack arched a brow. That bad, huh? The scientist's face paled. It's not just the bond. Your body is adapting. Faster than it should. This is unnatural. Violari's fists clenched. Meaning? The scientist turned the scanner toward them, revealing genetic data. His cells aren't just recovering. They're mutating. Jack blinked. Whoa, hold up. Mutating? That's a scary word. The scientist looked him dead in the eye. Your DNA is shifting to accommodate Cypherian traits, reflexes, strength, heightened perception. But the bond should not be able to do this. Violari's voice was tight. Unless... Jack crossed his arms. Unless what? The scientist hesitated. Unless he was compatible. Jack scoffed. Compatible? Like what? My biology just happened to be into yours. The scientist's gaze flicked to Violari. More than that. This bond, it's not just a side effect. It's ancient. And it was meant to be impossible. Jack rubbed his temples. Great. Love being an impossibility. Violari's thoughts were swirling. She was trying to keep her emotions contained, but Jack could feel them anyway. Jack sighed. All right. So what now? I grow an extra arm? Turn blue? Get a cool alien tattoo? The scientist was not amused. If this continues, your body may fully integrate Cypherian traits. Or it may reject them entirely. And if that happens... Jack rolled his hand. Let me guess, boom! The scientist simply nodded. Violari's frustration turned to something darker. Worry. Jack grinned, but it didn't quite reach his eyes. Well, I always wanted to go out with a bang. Violari smacked his arm. Jack winced. Okay, bad joke. So, Doc, any way to, not explode? The scientist hesitated. I may be able to slow the process. But to stop it entirely... She shook her head. You would need to break the bond. And no one knows how. Jack let out a low whistle. Guess we're in uncharted territory, huh? Violari's fists clenched. We do not have time for this. The council will come looking for him. If they see what has happened, they will execute him. The scientist finished. Jack exhaled. Man, your people really don't do chill, huh? Violari turned to him, her expression dangerously serious. This is not a joke. If they see what you've become, they will hunt you. They will hunt us. Jack met her gaze. Then we run. Violari hesitated. Just for a second. Jack felt the moment she realized the truth. There was no going back. The bond had changed everything. She swallowed hard. We run. Jack adjusted the stolen cloak over his shoulders, keeping his head down as they navigated the crowded streets of Zyphar's capital. The air was thick with spice-scented smoke and the hum of alien chatter, but beneath it all, he could feel Violari's tension like a live wire in his skull. She wasn't just worried, they were being hunted. Jack nudged her. Asterisk. Hey, relax. We blend in just fine. Asterisk. Violari shot him a glare. Asterisk. You are the only human within 1,000 light years. You do not blend. Asterisk. Jack smirked. Asterisk. You say that, but nobody's tackled me yet. Asterisk. Immediately, 2 armored Zypharian enforcers turned the corner ahead of them. Violari's thoughts spiked with panic. Jack grabbed her hand, pulling her into a side alley just before the guards spotted them. She yanked away. "Do not touch me," Jack exhaled. "Okay, wow. First of all, you touched me first. To save your life. And now I'm returning the favor." "You're welcome." Violari's jaw tightened, but she didn't argue. They had bigger problems. Jack peeked out of the alley, watching the enforcers scan the crowd. "So, what's the plan?" Violari pressed her palm to a hidden panel on the wall, and a hatch slid open. "We go underground." Jack grinned. "I was hoping you'd say that." They slipped inside, the door sealing behind them. The tunnels beneath the city were dark, humid, and older than the buildings above. Jack could feel it, like something ancient was humming in his bones. "You grew up here, didn't you?" Jack asked, keeping his voice low. Violari hesitated. "Yes. Before I was taken to the palace." Jack frowned. "Taken?" She didn't answer. Jack let it go, for now. He had bigger questions anyway. "All right, princess. Explain something to me. That scientist lady said the bond should have been impossible. But it's not. And I'm mutating. That means this has happened before, right?" Violari's expression darkened. "Not in recorded history. But that doesn't mean never." She exhaled. "There is an old legend. A warning. Long ago, before the council ruled, there was a time when Zypharians bonded with other species. But those bonds were too powerful, too dangerous. The council purged all records of them." Jack arched a brow. "Purge, huh? Love a good historical cover-up." Violari kept walking. "It does not matter. What matters is escaping the planet before the council finds us." Jack rubbed his temple. "You keep saying that like it's gonna be easy. What's the plan?" Violari stopped at another sealed door, pressing a hidden sequence of symbols. The door hissed open, revealing a rusted, ancient vessel. Jack grinned. "That's our ride?" Violari nodded. "It is old, but it will get us past the planetary defenses." Jack stepped inside, running a hand along the controls. The ship felt familiar. Violari noticed his hesitation. "What is it?" Jack frowned. "I don't know. Just a weird feeling." Before he could process it, alarms blared through the tunnels. Violari's eyes widened. "They found us." Jack jumped into the pilot's seat. "Then let's get the hell out of here." Violari hesitated for half a second, then took the co-pilot's seat. "Try not to crash." Jack smirked. "No promises." As the ship roared to life, the bond between them flared, stronger than ever. Jack didn't just feel her emotions now. He felt her memories. And for the first time, Violari felt his. Neither of them spoke as the ship blasted into the sky, leaving Zyphar behind. But one thing was clear. This was just the beginning.